Welcome back to my class. I'm really happy to see everyone, and I've been getting some artwork that I love, so thank you to those who have taken the time to do that for me. Today we're going to do a print, and it's called relief printmaking, because the raised part of your plate, and it's really a plate, but it's a plate, is going to be what captures the ink, and everything that's down is not going to show. It's just going to be the color of the paper. So originally there was no paper. So they did these rubbing type things on cloths, and they did it so they could replicate, repeat, copy something. Gradually came the type letters, which had to be put in there backwards because it's a mirror image. So when the paper was put on, it would be the right way. We still use wood when we make these carvings, really. That's what you do, is you carve into something. But linoleum, copper, they have a printing press now that just rolls everything out. Tools for cutting. We're going to learn about brayers, which are what you use to rub. And this is what gave me the idea for this class, rollers. You're going to be really surprised about my rollers. See you in a minute. All right, you ready for this? See all this? This is what we're going to be working with. It looks like a lot of things, but I have different choices for you to make while you're doing it. You can use your black or your white paint. Use tempera paint. We don't want to use the acrylic right now because we're just learning how to do this. This is a piece of foam. You can buy these online. I've never seen them in the stores. I have a new one right here to show you how to work with it. This is actually my plate, and that's what it's called, a printing plate. For our relief prints, and it's relief because these are all raised and everything of color is down. So it's again, it's a small relief. These are my prints I made with this. I used white tempera paint on black, and I used black. See these beautiful marks? That is the sign of a really good print. If you're doing something and you're a professional artist and you want it perfect, that's wonderful. I think that these, with this open imperfection, you can see where it was touched and removed, is what gives it that charm, that quality of handmade. I'll put these up here. Again, I drew it out first. It was then taped to my piece of foam. And then I used my purple pencil. It's good to use a colored pencil because then you can see where you've been and you trace it. And once you lift it up, you're going to trace it again. Your hand will get tired. Take a break and take a few minutes off if this is what you're doing. I'm going to do something much simpler, and I'm going to show you also that if you do not want to do a drawing first, or as we like to call it, a slappy copy, you can draw directly on this. I'm going to look at my picture and try to create something similar. Not exactly. I've already done this. Time to do something new. So I'm going to do, part of me wants to do a peacock feather, but we don't have time for that. You can't hear it, but you can see this deep groove that it makes. That is going to remain white if you're using black ink, or it's going to be black. It's actually your negative space, your background space. I used that shape before. Let's do something different. Okay, and then I'm gonna go in here. I love like 1940s designs. There are books that you can look and notice I'm going over it twice. This is what I meant. Your hand will start to hurt. This will be a simpler one. 1940s designs are these really cool, on all of their ceramics and their dishware and their coffee cups. They used cups. They didn't have mugs back then. They have these beautiful, simple designs like this. If you have the time, go ahead and look up 1940s ceramic ware, things like that. So there's two. I'm going to go over here. And now we're going to do the leaves. Simple. Go over it how many times? Once. No. Twice. 3 times. As many times as you want. The deeper the grooves, the easier it is to make a beautiful print. Do I need, yeah, why don't I do this and change it up? It would have been fine with just that, but you don't push yourself. Go a little further. Just get a little more decorative, which means make it a little more fancy. We like fancy. All right, so this one went up, and then it hit a center. This is easy on these plates. Now, they're called printing plates, like I explained earlier. Now, let's do our little, I like dots. You really got to push these in. Round and around. Printmaking is a blast. There are so many different ways to do it, and we're going to learn about that. You know, maybe one little sprig of circles, and this design is complete. You could make wallpaper out of this. You could make greeting cards. Get a little guy in here. Let's do one more. And that means I need another leaf. Balance, balance, balance. You need to make sure that it looks good to you. It's yours, nobody else's. There, that's simple. Now, these are easy to find in any store. They are a foam plate. I have two because these are rather thin. If you're doing a design and it pokes through, don't worry. I'm going to do, let's do, oh, we got a little noise action in its suction cup to my table. You can see the difference. This is not a high quality and it goes through a little bit. So let's just do a sunflower. And you'll actually be able to see. Now, there's another choice, which I'm going to do right now. I've given up on that. See, you can always change course. I'm going to actually cut this out. Number one, the noise is a little annoying. Number two, a flat surface is always easier to work on. So I should call this Miss Linda's noisy printmaking class. All right, problem solved. No worries, no grief, no nothing. Just move on. Ha-ha. Solution. Now I'm sorry I was doing something like this. We will see what happens. You see why we're using a colored pencil. Number one, it has a rounder, softer tip to it. Let's do a couple of big thin ones. And then I'm just going to go around in circles to make that center of all those sunflower seeds. And I'm going to go out a little bit onto the leaves so it becomes one. More radiating movement, more circular. It's so much fun to bring one lesson into another lesson. Learn something in one, you learn something in the other, and then you see, with my help hopefully, that you needed to learn that, and that really complements what you're learning today and tomorrow and the next day. And again, share it, share it, share it, because we need to do it. Some of my lines are thicker, it's going to show up better. You'll also be able to see some of this styrofoam try to pop up again. You are in control. You just force that down again. If it pops through and goes through your paper, it doesn't matter. It's still just going to remain whatever the color of your paper is. All right, one giant leaf. I say this every class, every week. I speed do this. Take your time. All right, we have a flower. We have my new cool 1940s design, and now we're going to print them. This is the best part. Normally when you're using print ink, you use this. It's called a roller. And when I was looking at this and thinking, I wish I could do it with things that we have at home. Nobody's got printing ink at home. And I kept saying roller, roller, and then it was like bing, 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 rollers. My mother used to put these in her hair all the time when we were kids. These are called pink foam rollers, and they are perfect for what we're going to use them for. The first one, I thought I'd do like the steamroller thing. Yeah, it worked, but I had tempera paint all over my fingers. Then I thought, let's get a skewer because it's the right size for the hole. You need it smaller so that it rolls. You ready for this? This is so much fun. I was so excited when I saw that this worked. I'm going to do this white on black. A new piece of black here. Oh, and this is a full size of the foam that you buy. There's different sizes. but these plates work just as well. Now, I'm going to take my plate, my real plate, and I'm going to, I swear, I almost put glue in there. I'm going to get this little tub of paint. You don't really need that much. You're going to be shocked. Now, if you put your roller in that, you're just going to get a big glob in the middle. Cap it up, put it away, because if you knock it down, it won't get ruined. Then I'm going to use a fork, and we're going to spread this around so it's almost flat, but not too wide. It should be about as wide as your roller. Oh, this is what they look like. They look like this when you get them. And they're super cool. You can get them at the 99-cent store. You can get them at any drugstore. Now, this is a little messy, so I'm going to set it off to the side here. Are you ready? Roly, roly. We're going to roll this in. Those of you who have done my printmaking classes, you're going to be really proud of me for figuring this out. I was really proud of myself. Then you're going to roll it. Oh, I got a little schmutz on there. Roll it once. You can see where the paint is. It's shiny when there's no paint. If you need to, this is a little long for this plate, so guess what? There, problem solved. I am just like the problem solver today. All right, this way, and it makes little bubbles, which gives you that texture. All right, everything, gotta watch out for those little dots. Those take a little extra care. So I'm using it like a wand now. Are you ready? We're going to put it here. I'm going to use my paper towel to get any extra tempera off. Tempera comes off your hands very easily. I'm going to put my black paper down. And usually they use the brayer to do this, but we use our fingers because we're not using wood cuts or anything like that. We're using styrofoam. And make sure that you press everywhere. You're moving your hands around. You can actually feel the little bumps under there. And then, are you ready? This is like magic. You peel it off, and there it is. There's your print. Can you believe it? Something so simple. I know, you're ready for this. Black. So I'm going to use a new piece, or new plate, pardon me. And then this I actually cut and taped together so I could, I don't know, make this steamroller. That's what I was trying to use. But again, I had black all over my fingers, and I was like, yeah, that's not going to work. So I'm going to slide this off, reuse my skewer. Anything will work that is smaller than the hole. And set this all off to the side. Get my white paper. I'm going to use a large piece. I can always make it smaller if the print is offside, like if it's up on one side too much or the other, I can always trim it off. All right, let's do this. I am going to actually put this black piece of paper over here. It'll catch it. Now see how you gotta pop it. And this you might have to push a little bit harder. Again, put your finger over your paint before you shake them. I shook a whole gallon of paint once and the top wasn't on. And it went everywhere. Now I'm going to use another plate, and I'm going to use a clean fork. This one's a little bigger than that one, so let's use a little more. Cap it, put it off to the side. Use my fork. Spoons would work, but forks, because they have that opening, gives you a even spread. Put that off to the side. Roly, roly. Now, one side doesn't have it. You need to have the entire sponge roller. It's going to crack me up every time I say that. All right. You ready? Roll. Turn it. Roll it. Now, newspaper underneath. Piece of paper. You can see that wasn't pushed in. I'm going to show you how to fix that. Roll it. Tempera paint comes off with soap and water. And then, hopefully I can show you how to make a ghost print. All right. Since it's water-based, it's going to try to pull up or pull away from that. Now, I got a little bit of schmutz on this. I'm going to flip it over and use it. All right. Now, this one, because it's not so deep, before I print, I'm actually going to go over that. Or push it in a little harder. so that we don't lose it. There. All right. Ready? This one's a little messier. And then I'm going to try to do a ghost print. And I've talked about them before. Now, I can flip this over. And since it's already got the little speckles on there, it won't matter that I didn't wipe my hands. You can see what happens if you don't wipe your hands. You make your own print on the back. Now I can almost see this one coming through. Remember, it wasn't so deep in the center, so I'm giving it extra. All the way around. All right, wipe my fingers. I'm gonna pull this off. And look at that. It's amazing. It's amazing. It looks like it's a patio stone or something. Let's see if we can do a ghost print. Ghost print is the second print. There's not a lot of paint left on this, but sometimes that faded look is just as good as your strong one. Foam rollers, who figured that? All right, Miss Linda's got lots of time on her hands these days to think. Sometimes when you let your mind go and think, all right, let's see how this works. There wasn't much paint, so it's going to be faded, but oh, it's kind of pretty. It looks more like a lotus flower in this picture. We've used all these unusual plates you can buy anywhere, prints that you can make. You can buy foam if you want to. You can just use these. You can cut these in squares and make your prints over and over again. Just think of the beautiful gifts you can give. You can make cards. Just share it with everyone because it's absolutely beautiful. Please enjoy yourself. Take your time. Clean up after yourself, please. So wasn't that fun? Extremely inventive. Now you go get your pink rollers, and if they don't have pink, they come in different sizes, different colors. Just find the one that you like the best. And tempera paint, right? Any color. I use black and white. Doesn't mean you have to. Use what you have or purchase what you want. Do it your way. You're the one that's important. You're the one that counts. Enjoy yourself, and I hope you learned something. I had so much fun.